Hi, I'm Slavik with iDrinkCoffee.com. Today I'm presenting the Mythos 2 ClimaPro grinder with gravimetric dosing. The grinder I have here is branded Victoria Arduino, but this is also available under the Nuova Simonelli brand, because Nuova Simonelli and Victoria Arduino are sister companies. I'm going to present the extensive feature set of the Mythos 2, and I'll also spend a little time comparing it to the ClimaPro 1, the previous version of this grinder, so you know what the differences are so you can make a decision what's right for your cafe. The Mythos 1 ClimaPro, which is the predecessor of this grinder, really gained a lot of notoriety in the specialty coffee world for its dosing consistency and its impressive distribution. The Mythos 2 tries to build on that by adding several new features that make it even more consistent and that make this grinder perform even better. The Mythos 2 comes in three different versions: the Pure, the Premium, and the Gravimetric. And basically, all the grinders have the same motor and the same burr set. It's an 85mm burr set as opposed to the 75mm in the Mythos 1, so we do have larger burrs here. And you kind of build up the feature set as you go along. The base model is the Pure, and that's the one that's comparable to the previous Mythos 1 ClimaPro. The Pure has the new technology, so the new ClimaPro 2.0. And what that means is that you can actually adjust the temperature of the grind chamber between 30 and I believe 50 degrees Celsius. The previous version only allowed or only had a set temperature. It couldn't be adjusted. Then we step up to the Premium, and the Premium has a variable motor, so you can adjust the motor speed from 700 to 1200 RPM. It's also a time-based grinder, so you're still dosing based on time. And moving up to the highest end model, which is what I have right here, this has all the features of the Premium, but it also adds the gravimetric feature, which is basically weight-based grinding. You program your dose by weight and not by time. The Mythos 2 has a very generous sized hopper. This is actually a 2 kilogram hopper, so it fits a lot of coffee for busy cafes. The control of it is done through, there's three different buttons here, and those are the doses. So you can program these to whatever you like. I have mine set to 16, 18, and 20 grams. But you can also adjust it by touching the screen here. This is a touch screen interface, and that's how you interact with the grinder. Below, we have the grind chamber, and this is really what makes the Mythos very unique and what gives it its ClimaPro name. The grind chamber is actively heated and cooled and tries to maintain a constant temperature. And on the Mythos 2, you can actually set that temperature anywhere between 30 to 50 degrees in 5-degree increments. The theory behind that is the complaint that we hear in the specialty coffee industry for very high volume cafes is as a grinder heats up, the dosing consistency and the grinding consistency is reduced because, of course, metal expands when it's heated, and there's a lot of heat inside a grinder because of friction, the friction of grinding coffee. You lose some of that consistency. So to overcome that, what we have on the Mythos is a fully controlled, a temperature controlled chamber that stays constant throughout the day. As soon as you turn this grinder on, it heats up, it's ready to go. The other thing that's a little unique on this grinder is the fact that the burrs are mounted at an angle. They're at a 30-degree angle. They're not completely vertical or completely horizontal. You have a bit of a slope. And what that does, of course, it gives you the help of gravity in order to dose. And also the grind retention is quite small on this. The chute is incredibly short, and there's almost no grind retention. For a commercial grinder, that's very impressive. The grind adjustment knob on the Mythos is also my favorite style. I've really become very fond of these since we've started seeing them. This is very easy to adjust to go coarser or to go finer. It's much easier than handling a stiff collar on a machine, and a lot more precise. And of course, it does have stepless grind adjustment. Finally, below, we're going to find the fork. And this is the gravimetric version, so there's actually a load cell in there, which is the scale. You want to adjust this to fit your portafilter exactly so that it can tear and you can grind your coffee. So now let me show you how this thing works. I'm going to set my dose to 18 grams, and it activates immediately as soon as the load cell senses weight. It will tear. Tear time is about 5 seconds, and then the grinder is going to begin grinding. Now, once you have this calibrated, we've tested it, and it's pretty precise, pretty bang on. Our variance was within 0.1 or 0.2 of a gram. This is the menu, and it gives you all the information that you need, and you have different settings that you can program this to if you have different coffees. This is my coffee 1, but it goes, you can change it all the way to 6. So there's 6 different settings you can have. I'll leave it at 1. And it gives you all the information, all the settings that you have. So I have it set to 900 RPM, and again, that's adjustable from 7 to 1200. Now, I'll spend just a moment talking about that. This is a new feature that we're seeing on this grinder. We've also seen it on a grinder from Chiato. It's something that still is not fully understood, I think, by the specialty coffee industry, what type of impact grinding at different speeds makes. Generally speaking, lower speeds are better because there's less heat transfer to the coffee. But we've never seen, or we haven't seen too many grinders that allow you to change that speed. So it will require some experimentation. But Simonelli and Arduino seem to believe that it does have an impact, and this grinder does give you that ability. So you really can fine-tune a lot of different variables to get the most out of your coffee. Next, we have the grind chamber temperature. I have it set to 40 degrees. And again, this is another variable that would require, I think, some experimentation to see what your coffee tastes best like. If the temperature is a little hotter or a little bit cooler, you can experiment with that. Below, we find 3 different doses, and this is just very simple. It's the weight. So I have mine set to 16, 18, and 20 grams, but you can set that to whatever you like. One last thing that I'll point out is a feature that we haven't seen really in commercial grinders before, and it's quite creative. There's a cutout section back here that actually acts as a chalkboard. So you can draw on there, you can put promotions, or you can write what coffee's inside the grinder for your customers to see, which is kind of neat and very creative. The Mythos 2 is a very high-end grinder with a price tag to match. This right now represents the newest technology in espresso available today. You can really do some impressive things. If you have any questions about the Mythos 2 or any one of our products, please feel free to reach out and ask for help. We're always ready to offer it. Also, please subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos about grinders, about coffee machines, and espresso. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.